of Ferrari incredible new four-seater car in Mumbai, the GTC4 Lusso, and the GTC4 Lusso T here in Navneet Motors Ferrari showroom in Mumbai. Viewed globally as the ultimate badge of excellence and passion, Ferrari has always been a pioneer in the luxury world, and the GTC4 Lusso and GTC4 Lusso T are no exception. Together, the new model sets new benchmark for the day-to-day used car sector globally in both V12 and V8 category. And more so, it is suitable, really good for Indian market and for India as well. I hope you agree that this spectacular product and ideally suited for discerning driver with eye-catching sporting braking design that has been instrumental in attracting a younger, adventurous Ferrari owners. The category offers extraordinary performance in all driving conditions, including wet and challenging terrain, with all the sporty elegancy and luxurious comfort, except from the Manello stable. We hope you have a wonderful time with us and are here to answer any queries that may arise. Thank you very much, but before I could invite Mr. Orlean from Ferrari, I would also like to thank Mr. Orlean and his PR team to take out their precious time to come and attend the launch. Thank you. May I invite Orlean?
Thank you, Sharad. Can you hear me all? Yes? Ladies and gentlemen, buongiorno. On behalf of Ferrari, thank you very much for being here today for this very special event. I'm very excited, and Sharad and me today we're going to unveil our latest GT, which is the GTC4 Lusso for the first time in India. I'm going to run through a quick presentation of this new model, which you know is available in two versions, so the 8 and 12 cylinder, and we're lucky today to have the 12 cylinder version with us. Let's first start off with the name. So why GTC4 Lusso? First of all, GTC is the historical term as Grand Tourer Coupe that Ferrari used for some of his historical GTs. For example, in the 60s, for some of the models that you see here on the screen, one of which, the 330 GTC, was one of Enzo Ferrari, so one of our founder's favorite car, which he used to drive every day to go to work. Then there's the number 4. 4 stands for the number of seats. And as you'll see once we unveil the car, this car has a really spacious interior where 4 people can easily fit in, front and back. And then finally, there's the term Lusso. Lusso is the Italian for luxury, which gives you a clear hint on what the car's comfort and indoor quality and finishing is all about. Now, who's this car aimed at? This car is aimed for customers who want to drive their car anytime and anywhere. Anytime, meaning whether it's sunny, like today, or kind of snowy, or let's say even rainy, but also whether they want to enjoy their car alone with 1, 2, or 3 passengers. But also anywhere meaning whether they want to enjoy their car on mountain roads or in streets. It is also made for drivers who want a car with both power and performance, and yet also in-ford comfort. This new shooting brake concept, which was launched for the first time in 2011 with the FF, has managed to attract a new set of clientele to Ferrari and to our brand. New and younger clientele. Clients who actually drive their cars more than the average. And in fact, if you want a number, these customers driving this shooting brake concept drive around 30% more mileage than our usual models. what to tell you more about this car? Look, I'm sure that everyone who drives this car will absolutely and immediately fall in love with the car. It's simply the perfect car. It's got space, comfort, it's got great grip, which makes it safe, and yet at the same time it's a real and true Ferrari. So it's got the true Ferrari DNA, which is of course the recognizable and amazing, beautiful design. It's got also the sound, and of course, not to mention it, the performance. Now, as I said it earlier, this model comes in two versions. The first one is the 8-cylinder and the 12-cylinder. Let me just explain to you in the next 4 slides how the 12-cylinder version, which is called the GTC4 Lusso, is so unique and innovative. Easy. I'll start first of all with the engine. So the engines is the very famous 12-cylinder engine, 6.3 liter naturally aspirated engine, which is the true soul of Ferrari. Why? Because the very first car that came out of the production of the factory in 1947, which was called the 125S, had a 12-cylinder engine. And ever since 1947, Ferrari has produced all the way up till today cars with V12 engines. Just to give you some numbers, it's 6.3 liter, developing 690 horsepower and around 700 newtons meters of torque. This, as I said, is a naturally aspirated engine, which, what does it mean? It means that the driver will want to put his foot down on the throttle, and the more he puts the foot down, the more power it gets, the more linear the power, and the more he can enjoy the sound. This car is a 4-wheel drive, which guarantees exceptional grip under any weather condition. Now, unlike what you see in the market outside today, it's not any regular 4-wheel drive. This is, of course, sharper and lighter. So it's got, which I think you can see on the left of the screen, it's got the usual transmission, which is the 7-gear dual-clutch gearbox in the back. But in the front, there's an additional second transmission, which is smaller, which manages to give up to 30% of the power to the front wheels, either left or right, by adapting up to 90%, depending on the grip condition. On top of these 4-wheel drive, the GTC4 Lusso has 2 rear-wheel drives, so it has 4-wheel steering. This car, these 4-wheel steering increases, of course, the grip. It increases the ability and the easiness to handle the car, and it improves performance, and it gives the car a more agile way of driving. And last but not least, a bit of figures and performance for this 12-cylinder new car. You can see on the screen on the left, it's got 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 3.4 seconds, 0 to 200 in 10.5 seconds, and the braking distance thanks to ceramic brakes, which come, of course, from Formula 1. The braking distance from 100 to 0 is only 34 meters. Now, this was a couple of words for the 12-cylinder. Let me give you a couple of words for the 8-cylinder, which is called the GTC4 Lusso T. Now, I'm sure all of you know what T stands for, but we'll speak about it just a bit later. Just as a reminder, these two platforms are similar, are exactly the same. So the 8 and the 12-cylinder, which means what? It means that they both have the very beautiful line and the very innovative interior. Now, this GTC4 Lusso T was aimed at younger clientele than for the V12, about people who are about 10 years younger than the ones that drive the V12. And for this younger clientele, let me highlight out of the engine, apart from the engine, let me highlight one main difference between the 12 and the 8-cylinder, which is that the 8-cylinder is a rear-wheel drive only. What does it mean? It means that you feel, because also the weight distribution has been set in a different way, and so it means that there's a bit more proportion-wise, a bit more weight in the back, so you feel really pushed rather than pulled. What does it make for these young guys who are lucky enough to buy this car, to drive this car? It makes the car a bit more sportier, and it makes it a little bit more fun to drive. Now, to mention a couple of words on the engine, the engine's been on the market for a little while. So since 2014 with the California T, then this engine, the V8 turbo engine, was improved with the 488 GTV. And it's got a clear, it's clear now that in 2014 everyone was wondering whether Ferrari or not, it was a good move or not to move to the turbo engine, whether or not we could deliver the same performance, and I guess we don't read this in the news anymore because everyone's obviously convinced that the answer is a big yes. This new engine has a torque management system, so it has something called variable boost management, which makes that there's absolutely no turbo lag, but the torque of the turbo engine is available at very early stage of RPM, which makes the engine very sharp and responsive, and yet at the same time, it makes the feeling quite linear. So you want to push your foot down to get instant torque, but to get it linear all the way, so you want to push and rev the car. Last but not least, some numbers about this car for sure, about this engine. So it's the 3.9 twin turbo V8 engine. It develops 610 horsepower in this car and a bit more than 760 Newton meters of torque. Its sound has also been managed in the way that at low speed and low revs, it's a real GT. So it's comfortable, it's quite quiet, and the valves are closed. And the more you push, the more the valves open, and the more it liberates power, performance, but also a great sound. This was the last slide, so I know you guys are all eager to see the car. Last but not least, you're going to see it here out there, and I'll be happy to describe it a bit more. But the interior of this car, it's not good. The interior of this car is very innovative, and I'll just give you two quick topics. So the first one is the infotainment. So there's a brand new touchscreen infotainment system with a big touchscreen that's in the middle. There's the optional passenger display, which is also a bigger touchscreen, which we're lucky to have in this car. And the steering wheel has been redesigned. So the steering wheel is a bit quicker and smaller to make it a bit more GT-like. Please, I'm done with my presentation. Now, we're going to watch just one second video, and we're going to reveal the car with Sharad, as I've seen very familiar faces. So those who already know me, I'll be happy. Please come over, and I'll be happy to speak to you about the car more into details. Once again, on behalf of Ferrari, thank you very much for being here, and please enjoy the show.